Diaspora wars, they're getting crazy.
What other race/ethnicities do you believe would be there to help black people in a race war?
Black American people, because the Caribbeans and the Africans, I don't see them standing up with us either.
Excuse the out of me.
The diaspora wars are already going crazy.
Whoa.
It's mad Caribbeans and African people that think that they better than black Americans as it is. So when people from other countries come here, they are already forewarned. Stay away from them black Americans. They're like this. They're like that. There are a lot that will stand up with us, but I'm not counting every single last one.
So what you're saying is there are going to be a group of West Indians who are going to look at a race war and say, I'm from Trinidad. I ain't know what's going on here. But I'm from Trinidad. I ain't know what's going on in Alabama and all them type of thing. Them fellas down there, that's good. I go on right out soldier.
I have been looking at the way in which other black people find ever more creative ways to hate on other black people. And to me, it just speaks of the way in which black people really don't like each other. So right now, what we have is a bunch of black people in America saying that they are not liked by other types of black people.
Y'all are mad bumbleclad guys. You need psychiatric evaluation. Oh
Caribbeans, Africans, they might even say that I fit into that category, right? And what it is that I don't have a problem with African Americans. What I have a problem with is psychologies, in my personal point of view, which don't make any sense. So I'm going to say this. There's a group in the US called the F.B.A, right? And the Foundational Black Americans, what they call themselves.
I came up with the term Foundational Black American based on Native Black American from Claude Anderson.
Wow, that's deep.
Yeah.
It's been taken off. I go on Clubhouse and there's these really interesting debates between foundational black Americans and black immigrants from Africa and the Caribbean. And it gets a little nasty sometimes.
It does get nasty, yeah.
And it's sometimes a little offensive, me being that I have roots. My roots are in the Caribbean, but my roots also go to slavery. In fact, I could trace my roots to the actual name of the slave that is a descendant on my dad's side, named Julian Alonso, who was a runaway slave from an island called Curacao. Not too many people can name the person in their family who was that slave. So I feel like my history and my background is very similar to foundational black Americans, but there's this divide now. And I think maybe the divide, some people saying the divide is becoming more severe because of you.
To me, they just make no sense. Okay, that's just for me. They don't make any sense because I, as a black person, and they, as a black person, are both black. Our experiences are similar where we go, okay? And I don't think that there's much differentiation between the plights that those may go through and I may go through. However, the foundational black American seems to box themselves in and close all the doors. And when I say that, I mean this. Look, they say that they want reparations, okay? And that's fine. You're allowed to ask for reparations. I personally don't believe anybody's going to get reparations. I just don't believe that that's what's going to happen. But you have every right to ask for it. But you ask for reparations from a nation that you claim is inherently racist, which would mean that that nation is a bully, right? And I don't know any person that's being bullied asking for their stuff back who actually got it. I just don't know that person, okay? That means that bully would have to have a change of heart. That means that bully would have to say, you know what, actually, you know what, I'm doing wrong. And you know what I want to do is I want to rectify everything that I've done and give all of your stuff back. I'm sorry. I just don't see that happening personally. I just don't see that happening. But what the foundational black Americans have done is they've cut themselves off from the Caribbeans and the Africans, and they've said that we are this individual thing called foundational black Americans. We are our own individual thing. And it's true, you might have different experiences. I totally get that. But what you don't do, as someone who's studied the art of war, You never cut off your back door. That is one of the most stupidest things to do. Any person who studied war or been in war will tell you that even if you walk into a restaurant and you walk into a place, you scope out the exits. You see where things are. If things go pear-shaped and they go tits up in here, we need to have an exit strategy how to get out of this place. But what the foundational Black Americans seem to do is they walk into this room, which they say, or they're in this room, which they say is hostile. America is hostile, hates us, white supremacy, all of this stuff. And then they say, we are gonna cut off all of our exits. F the Africans, F the Caribbeans, F all people, we are just here. And I'm like, but you said that you're being treated bad in America. Why would you cut off your exit? You see, there are two people within the YouTube space that I actually really respect, and they're both African Americans. One of them is O'Shea Duke Jackson. O'Shea Duke Jackson has decided to set up his setup in Uganda. He's an African American. He understands that it's not just about America. Yes, you may be from there, but you need to be able to maneuver around the globe, okay? And so what O'Shea Duke Jackson has done is that he's had his setup now in Africa for a while. Respect to O'Shea Duke Jackson. Also, there's Austin Holloman. Austin Holloman is another African American who has gone around the world, or gone around Africa, let's say. He's been in Brazil, he's been to, Asia and stuff. And he's gone around and he's showing black people in America, look, there's stuff outside of America, guys. There's ways in which to live outside of America. Don't cut off your back door. There's women out here, there's life out here, there's job opportunities out here, all of this kind of stuff. And that to me makes more sense than sitting in a room cutting off all your exits. It doesn't make any sense to me. I'm sorry, my parents are from the Caribbean. I live in the UK. Listen, I am not stupid enough to think that the UK, with my black ass, right, is going to be solely for me. I would be so stupid to think that. I'm just not that silly, right? And I can say, okay, cool, I have a British passport and all that, I paid British taxes and all this kind of stuff, but I'm not stupid enough to think, oh my God, this country's always gonna be about me with my black ass. It just doesn't make any sense. And so I don't cut ties off with countries of black people outside of the UK. I have friends in Ghana, friends in Kenya, friends in Nigeria, friends in the Caribbean. I've got people all over the place. So if the hits the fan right here, I can get out. I can be like, all right, cool, I can start something else somewhere else. And that is a smart war strategy. What is not smart, in my personal point of view, is to cut yourself off from every other black avenue and then say, oh, I'm just here. I'm foundational Black American, I'm here. I'm like, bro, you said the place in which you live is hostile towards you. Now, you're not in the position of power either. So you are basically in your bully's backyard. You're in your bully's backyard and you've cut yourself off from everybody else, and then you expect to flourish. Man, that doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever.
Is you a goddamn fool?
I'm not telling foundational Black Americans what to do, and this isn't some anti-American rant, because I know if you read the comment section, there's going to be black Americans saying, you don't know what it's like in America, and blah, blah, blah. Bro, maybe I don't. But what I do know is war strategy, and you never, ever, never leave yourself an exit. Don't ever do that. But it seems like a lot of these people are cutting off all of their exits and saying, no, we're just going to be here. What? Hang on. The same America where black men who just want to fish in a neighborhood are harassed.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. You guys residents here?
Are we bothering anyone?
Don't touch
Don't touch anything.
Sorry? All right, well, this lake is presently for residents only. So, thank you for filming. I'm not giving you permission to film, so
she's not.
Take a picture of your license plates and forward it on.
Hey, so y'all hear what I go through, right? This the third person. I'm in my own neighborhood, and a white person came and bothered me while I'm fishing. Another white person came and bothered me while I'm fishing. This is the third time. She's like, oh no, I'm not giving you permission to film. This is my phone. I can film and do whatever I want.
The same America where George Floyd can be killed and, you know, have an officer on his neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. This America, the same America, you've said that you get treated like an enemy in your quote unquote own land. Doesn't that show you that it's not your own land? Doesn't that actually show you that? I live in the UK, I know this is not my land. I actually know that with my black ass. I know this is not my land. With your black ass, you know that's not your land. You can say whatever you want. We've been here for 400 years. 100% true. Everything you say is true. But you still are not in a position of power. You still are not in a position to change your position. You still don't own the blue chip companies. You don't own the Fortune 500 companies. You don't own America. You live there, okay? Black people don't own the UK. They live here. And so the black people in the UK understand, listen, I've got to make strides to make sure that this ain't just the place that I can be. Black people in the UK, they're from Ghana, they're from Jamaica, they're from Zimbabwe, they're from Kenya, they're from Nigeria, they're from all over the black world. And they say, look, even though I live here and I was born here and I'm working here, I'm still gonna have one foot in another country. That's the psychology that black people in the UK grow up with. And that's the psychology that I want black Americans to grow up with. Listen, you black, yes, start making bridges, start building friendships outside of America. Because as we can see, America is falling. America is falling. You live in a country where they don't even know what a woman is right now. They don't even know what a man is right now. Right? That's the country you live in. You live in a country that is confused on the most basic things. What is a man? Oh, well, a man is whatever you want. It's who you identify. This is the country that you guys want to identify with. And you black Americans or F.B.As, you ain't changing that. Your children are being taught that. Your children are being taught that we don't know what a man and we don't know what a woman is. So listen, I'm just going to say this. I don't hate black people in America. I really don't. I have certain things that I think that they do that I wouldn't do, right? But I'm saying what I want is the best for you. Start making bridges. Start building bridges outside of America with other black peoples. Because I'm telling you, when the ish hits the fan, bro, you're gonna need somewhere to stay. And you're gonna need to be around people that look like you. Okay? The Chinese people in America, they got one foot in China. The Arabs in America, they got one foot in Arabia. The Indians in America, they got one foot in India. They know that they're Indian American and Arab American and Chinese American. They know that. But they know that if the ish hits the fan, they can go right back to their own country. You are like, no, I'm gonna stay here 10 toes down. Why? Why in a country that, you know, has historically not liked you? Why? Right? Listen, start being smarter. Stop cutting off your exits. Stop cutting off all of these ties to the Caribbean or Africa. It's one of the most silliest decisions I've ever seen people make, because you are literally going to isolate yourself. And then the easiest way to pick off an enemy when you study the art of war is to isolate them. It's the easiest way. So if you want to isolate yourself, go ahead. But I'm telling you, there are black people all around the world who are like, cool, we don't mind to have other black people here. Places like Kenya, places like Ghana are giving grants. They're giving visas to people, black people outside of Kenya, outside of Ghana, to come there to work. Right? But you want to say, oh yeah, these people hate us. Man, listen, you either get smarter, right? Or you isolate yourself and you get picked off.